Doge, you are breaking my heart again as I look at the charts this morning. We are definitely seeing softness across the crypto market, and it is affecting Doge. And we're going to talk about what is in store for Doge here right now. Before we do, let's look at crypto bubbles. Let's look at the daily. You will see we see a lot more red than we do green. The big coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum are both down. And that is why we are seeing price do this, not only in Doge, not only in Doge, but across crypto in general. If you look, everything is red except Bitcoin dominance. That's not a coin, that's just a measure of Bitcoin's market cap. So everything is red today, seeing big drops, sometimes 7-8% in some of these coins. Doge right now is down a modest 3%, but we definitely need to talk about the situation we are dealing with. The reason I have a little bit of disappointment in Doge is not certainly Doge itself, but I was excited to see Doge to have broken these very two critical levels 2 days ago. That is this level right here from 0.087 to 0.089 roughly. I really wanted to see Doge get above 0.9 and close. I don't think it actually closed above 0.9. Its close here was 0.08944, so it's slightly below this 0.09 level that I wanted to see a close above. But the fact of the matter is, it did get above this critical gray area, or area noted by gray, which, as you can see when I zoom out, has the market has reacted around it even as far back in November, and so that's why it's a critical area. It is an area of support and resistance, liquidity level, market reaction, whatever you want to call it. But you can see how when the market got up to it, it rejected. We fought through it for a couple of days before breaking through it. The very next day we tested it over the course of a few days, broke through it, went back up and tested it, right through it. And over the past week, we have tested it several times and broke it, which is why it did all that work. And it was just a little too late to actually take advantage of and move higher, as we have now seen Bitcoin kind of stall. Once I zoom out, you can also see, as another note, this downward trend reflected by this line and this line right here going back to 2022. It's just a reflection of lower lows and lower highs over that point, which is the definition of a downtrend. And so we had also broken above that level. And I was hoping to stay above this blue line here. But once again, we have fallen back into the blue line just as we did back in December and January of last year. We cannot seem to break out of this line. And the reason is this, as Bitcoin goes up, okay, Bitcoin pulls all these altcoins up. So as we see a rise in Bitcoin, like we've seen very substantially over the last few weeks, these altcoins tend to pop up over time. They don't go up with Bitcoin. They go up after Bitcoin. And a few days later, this altcoin will pick up. A few days after that, this altcoin. They don't happen at the same time. It just takes time. Unfortunately, Doge was one of the slower responders and took a while. It did move up. There's no doubt it moved up. You can see right here from what was the 23rd of January when we started pushing up. You can see Bitcoin did move up. But it even leveled out right here before taking off. It was just a slower move. For example, VET. But here's the low on January 2023. This is when Bitcoin started rising. It actually kind of leveled off there, so it might not be a great example. Here's the low of 2023. Anyway, my point is, it took so long for it to break this level that Bitcoin has kind of flattened out, and now we're seeing the results of that. Bitcoin is clearly here at this level of 52,000 and has been at this level of 52,000 for about a week now. You can see here we've leveled off and are fighting, okay? And this is today's candle, which is why we're seeing this softness across the altcoins. Now, yesterday we had a bar that looked just like this. It was red about this time of day, but over the course of the hours and the remaining hours in that day, it did finish higher and closed green. We're experiencing the same thing again today, except we haven't gone up. And the more times you see these red bars testing the bottom of these ranges, the higher chance there is of us actually breaking the range below. So I'm going to put a line here. No, I'm just going to draw a rectangle. It's going to be between here and here, okay? This gray area is the tops of these wicks and the bottom of these wicks. And if you look, that's about 50,380 to 50,600, just roughly. It's an art, not a science. But the fact of the matter is, if Bitcoin should fall below this today or over the next few days, we're going to see that reflected in all the altcoins, or most of them anyway. And Doge is going to continue to drift. As I might not have mentioned in this video, once Bitcoin does top out, the fuel for the altcoins are gone. For most altcoins, I'm talking altcoins in general. We all see these altcoins pop off at random times, but I'm talking the altcoins in general. Once the Bitcoin has leveled off, the fuel is gone, and these altcoins will start to drift lower. They don't necessarily crash, they just drift lower. The inertia is gone, gravity kicks back in, and that's what we're seeing here. Okay, so I did want to talk about that. And Doge will be affected by whatever Bitcoin does. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Tweets, Bitcoin archive. Bitcoin, go away. Bitcoin is up 37% in 21 days here since January 23rd. Consolidation here would be normal. Patience, and that is correct. Bitcoin has made a substantial run since January 23rd. It had a low of back around 38,000, and we're at 52, roughly 52,000 now. That's a fantastic increase. So if you look at the daily chart, throw on an RSI, whatever, you're going to see that Bitcoin is extended, and that would generally call for some pullback. And I've talked about that in several of my videos. I've also talked about the fact that we have the halving coming up in April. And here is how historically Bitcoin has behaved. Before the halving, we would have a run up, which we have now. About 4 to 6 weeks before the halving, we would start to see a retrace of 10, 20, 30%. 20% retrace would put us right here between 40 and 45. Then we generally see a consolidation through the halving, and then a few weeks to a few months after the halving, Bitcoin continues upward, and that is what we call a bull run, if you will, historically based on the price action of Bitcoin before halving. So people are asking, is this the top of the Bitcoin move before halving? The Wolf of Wall Street talked about that. Bitcoin is correcting. Is the pre-halving top in, or is there more upside to come? And how far can Bitcoin correct? He's talking about that on YouTube. Probably worth a listen. I haven't listened to it, but he's asking the same question we'll all be asking, and that is this the top before the halving? Here's the answer on what to do. Lady of Crypto, and I believe this firmly, don't overcomplicate the next 18 months. Your job is to accumulate, hold, and take profit heavily in 2025. Her point is this: Doge, Bitcoin, whatever we're looking at. Of course, we don't want to see our money get less, okay? We don't want to see our coins falling and our brokerage accounts get smaller in value. None of us want to see that. It's not an easy thing to see. It's not an easy thing to watch, especially if you're new to crypto. This is not fun. You've heard about crypto up, Bitcoin up, get into crypto. And now perhaps 2 or 3 days ago, you got into Doge, and now you're staring at this chart and saying, really, guys, this is what crypto is about. Well, unfortunately, this is what crypto is about. Crypto is about the downs as much as it is about the ups. But I do agree with Lady Crypto. Whatever happens pre-halving, post-halving, in halving, after halving, don't care. Well, I do care. But it's really not going to affect my behavior. Our job now, if you're a long-term holder, is to get into a project you like, endure the downs, endure the consolidation through halving, and then wait. And over the year of 2024, I do firmly believe we're going to see higher highs in Bitcoin. And if you are in a quality coin, you're going to see higher highs in your coin, and they will increase by multiples. 2 multiples, 3 multiples, 10 multiples, 20 multiples, 100 multiples. It depends on what kind of coin you're in. A top market cap coin like Doge is not going to increase 100 times. 10 to 20 at best would be my guess, but I shouldn't have even said that because we don't know. Look, if I knew what Doge was going to do, if I knew what Bitcoin was going to do, you think I'd be sitting here making videos? Absolutely not. I would be getting as much money, every penny I could buy, borrow, or steal, and put it into Doge. Right? So none of us know. We just have to be prepared and handle the ups and downs accordingly. And historically, through the bull run in 2020 coming up here, crypto's going to take off. The ETFs are causing Bitcoin to move higher. Has never been more demand for Bitcoin than there is now. So hold, wait, watch, be patient, and endure some of these downs so you can reap the reward of the runs coming up through 2024 and into 2025. All right, little bit of a pep talk there, but look, some of us need it. When we wake up and we see this in crypto, some of us need a pep talk, and sometimes it's me. So that's my pep talk for today, and that's my view on Doge. Hope you enjoyed it. Come back. I'll keep an eye on Doge with you. Be sure to check back.